Hi, my name is Laura Vences. I am a junior at Claremont McKenna College in Southern California, and I was an immigration writer this last summer for Latina Republic. I think coming in, the very first thing I wanted to discuss, um, I wanted to delve into was just how extremely varied the Latino immigrant experience is. And then, of course, that starts with the term Latino in general, um, and how this big umbrella term that we use really represents so many different people and so many different experiences, um, and I want to get into that and just in terms of immigration and immigrants. There's a generational component that I wanted to get into as well, and how different generations experience immigration and how they're affected by it. So uh, that was definitely the the my starting point, my starting mentality, and that actually led me right into my first story, um, which was discussing the Mixteco and Indigena population in my um, nearby to my hometown, which was Ventura County. Um, so going into that story, I personally, being from Santa Barbara County, had no idea that in my own county, in my nearby county, there was such a large Mixteco and Indigena population. Um, and most of them, most of this population was working in the fields. They're farm workers. So once I once I started kind of researching and learning more about them, I found an amazing organization whose purpose is mainly to support and empower this this population in Ventura and Santa Barbara County, and to bring attention to the unique issues they face. So kind of going back um, to kind of that first thing that drew me to that I wanted to discuss, right, which was how these weren't just you know Mexican and Central American farm workers. These were indigenous Mexican and Central American farm workers. So that added layer, um, the indigeneity of indigeneity was, I very quickly discovered, added an entirely different aspect to their immigrant experience. Um, so I found an incredible organization called the Mixteco Indigena Community Organizing Project, and I was able to interview the executive director, Mr. Arsenio Lopez, who was absolutely incredible. Him being a Mixteco immigrant himself had a lot to say about not only the work him and his team were doing um, to support this population, but also um, was able to discuss his own experience as he also worked in the fields. So that was a truly like incredible conversation that I was able to have, and that was like probably 2 weeks into my internship, where I was already having these conversations and learning so much for myself, and um, so again, I wanted to first and foremost discuss just everyday people who's who I've um, I think one of my biggest issues that I have with the immigration immigrant conversation just in the general in the US is that people people's worth is discussed relative to their contributions to the economy, and that is something I take a lot of issue with. So with my stories, what I wanted to do was to stay away from that and still discuss people's work um, and their jobs and their livelihoods, but not necessarily with the focus being how they are contributing to the economy. So so as I kind of went about writing my stories, I think that's something I kept in mind, and um, I think so. I mostly, again, being from Santa Barbara County, I focused on issues regarding the or that are primarily found in the West Coast, in this part of the United States, um, and throughout this entire process, I learned so much. Um, I learned so much, and on the professional side, I learned kind of how to take kind of this an issue and build something out of scratch with it. So um, that went from research. I was able to take something from research to interviews to transcribing those interviews, um, gathering information and developing that into a story. Um, and that was really, really, truly satisfying. I think on the personal side, as I was writing these stories, I felt a true responsibility to the people whose stories I was I was sharing, um, to represent them in the best of my ability. I felt that they had shared their stories with me and entrusted their stories um, to me. So, in a sense, I had to just do all I could to retell those stories with a lot of respect and authenticity. Um, and with that came probably my proudest moment with Latina Republic, which was very soon after, once my first story, again, which was about the Mixteco Indigena community organizing project. uh, I emailed Mr. Arsenio Lopez, and his team, and let them know that the article had been uploaded, and was published. And he emailed me back. Him and one of his other team members emailed me back, thanking me for my solidarity and for the story I had written. Um, and that was really special because I felt that um, I had done my job, and shared and represented them well. Uh, so I'm very, very appreciative for that experience, and for the time Mr. Arsenio Lopez shared with me. Um, so as far as my work with Latina Republic, the immigration writing team was absolutely amazing. I met people from all over the country, um, who were awesome, and I love seeing how varied our approaches were to getting our stories and to going about writing our articles, um, and to see where each of us were drawing inspiration from, bouncing each other's ideas off of each other was a highlight for sure. And I think just to conclude, this internship definitely provided me with almost a launching pad for all the things I want to continue um, to do in terms of immigration advocacy. And I'm extremely, extremely grateful for to Latina Republic and Sole for the constant support and encouragement I received um, during my time with the team. Um, and I'm super excited um, to see where I can take the skills that I learned moving forward.